Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga Texas construction update video.
Well, hey everybody, I'm back out at Giga Texas just before Thanksgiving and going to do a little bit of a different flight today. We're going to do a 360 around the main site and the main facility, and then I'll get a few areas of detail that I know everybody's interested in, and then I'm going to wrap it up for the Thanksgiving holiday. I just want to say thank you very much for all of your support and for all of the well wishes and great comments throughout the whole year. And I just really couldn't do this without all of you, and I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. Now, there is one piece of news that I want to pass along before we get into the drone flight today, and that has to do with the production schedule for the rest of the year here at Giga Texas. Now, this is pretty much standard from what we've seen in the last couple of years. So it's not really anything particularly unusual or because of any other current events. It's just really what they have had in the past. So what their schedule looks like for the rest of the year is today, the 25th of November is the last day of production for this month. The 26th, 7th, and 8th, there will not be any production here. They will resume on the 1st of December, and for the next few weeks, they will be at their regular Monday through Thursday, 12-hour shifts, and Friday would be the normal day off. Now, the big exception is that the Friday, the 19th of December, will be a production day, and that will be the last production day of 2025 here at Giga Texas. Of course, they're going to go through the Christmas holiday, the New Year's, and then they will be back at work with production resuming on Monday, the 5th of January. So about 2 weeks of no production. Now, while that is happening, there will continue to be construction on the site. They will continue to be working on the production lines as far as standing up and preparing the Cybercab production lines, the rest of the factory, and they'll be doing other work, but they just will not be doing production of vehicles during those times. So once again, no production on the 26th, 7th, and 8th of November. Production will be normal from Monday the 1st of December, Monday through Thursday for a few weeks. The last day of production will be Friday the 19th of December, and then they'll resume Monday the 5th of January 2026. So I hope you find that information helpful and kind of gives us an idea what to expect here over the next 5 weeks or so between now and the Monday of January 2026. And that's just what we're going to see here at the site. So without further ado, let's get into the drone, let's fly around, see what Giga Texas looks like right before Thanksgiving 2025.
If you would like to support my efforts, please consider using these links, which will be in the video description. If you are interested in Tesla products, you can help yourself and support me by using my referral code. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons on my YouTube video, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga Texas. Well, good morning from Giga Texas on the 25th of November. I thought I would do a little bit of a different video today just because I have family visiting. I wasn't able to do the full video, but I also wanted to take this opportunity to say thanks to Tesla for allowing me to fly around this site for another year and show you a lot that is going on. Talk a little bit about the progress that they've made this year and what to expect for next year. So much of this year has been preparing the factory that you see here internally for some pretty big changes with the strategic direction of the company. And they started off with redoing the production lines and starting up the new production of the Juniper Model Y, and that has really done well this year. And in addition to that, they started up the robotaxi service here in Austin, then it expanded out to San Francisco, and they've been doing a lot with refining that service to this year. So that has been really cool to see. Of course, also with the Cybercab production getting closer, we saw a lot of that testing going on here at the factory and also setting up the production lines on that east side of the facility. Now on the south end here, we saw Cortex 1 increasing up to over 80,000 NVIDIA GPUs, the H100s, and being used for the full self-driving testing. And that south end extension has really pretty much gotten into a full operation this year. Now they've also been adding infrastructure with the power systems that they're expanding on the north end. And we have the new construction with Cortex 2 that's going to be the training for Optimus robots, and with the new announcement that a factory is going to be added on the east side to produce the Optimus robots coming up in 2026. Now, in addition to all of that, we've seen a lot more construction around the site with the caissons, the water intercept system around the entire facility, and helping with that overall capability to be able to handle the expansion. And in addition to that, more of the just construction around the site, the finishing out more of the west west support facility, which is where the end of line, the outbound lot, and so forth has been, and just a lot of other changes that are going on here at Giga Texas over the last year, and many more, including the Cybercab production, the robotaxi fleet expanding, Optimus facility being built, getting the Cortex 2 operational, and having all this extra power with the mobile or the Megapack systems coming online, all coming up next year. So a lot to be thankful for. A lot of great events, a lot of changes in 2025. And just again, I thank you for all of my supporters that have allowed me to do all this year. Now, while we are here, I thought I would bring the drone down a little lower. We'll talk about some of the developments that have been happening in the last couple of days here. First, at the electrical switchyard expansion, you can see a lot more of the steel has been erected around where that perimeter fence is. They're merging the two sites together, and a lot more of just that assembly is underway. Here next to Cortex 2 on the west side, we see a large trench. This is for those water pipes, those blue pipes that are being installed. We also see the beginnings of that paved road and entrances into what will eventually be a parking lot. On the north end, we see more of the closing in of the building. On the west side here, just a lot of the work to prepare for more construction on that east side of the facility, with some of the piers and some of the other construction that we'll see here momentarily. There is a new excavation going on next to that lift station, the bottom center of the screen. And as we fly around the north end of the battery cathode plant, you can see next to the cell testing lab, all of these green transformers. It looks like some more have been delivered, and some assembly on the platform on that north end, which is a little bit new. Now, as we pass the crash testing facility, we know that there's been a lot of activity, especially with Cybercab testing. We do see a few with the covers, the blue and black covers on the center right of the screen, and just some more work going on around that facility. So that is all gearing up for that Cybercab production next year. As we kind of round this southeast corner, we see that mobile kitchen on the bottom right. Also, a lot of the work here around where the Tesla road will be expanded, with some of the materials being stockpiled in the bottom left or right of the screen. And also looks like a lot of vapors coming off of the vaporizers in that alleyway between the die shop and the battery cathode plant. As I mentioned, here's a close-in view of the concrete work and more of the walls that are being placed on this kind of foundation that has the piers underneath it, generally where that worker is walking next to the wall. We see more of the forms on the north end, some active concrete pouring underway here, and those structures next to the wall that are continuing to grow with more forms. We see the screw type piers and some of the asphalt here in that square section on that side. Now I'm going to cross over the roof and come over to this section where the chiller plant is being installed. See the screw type piers, some of the asphalt, more of the trenching and concrete for the conduits. We see some of the screw type piers being stored on the ground here on the west side and also on the south side. But the big news is next to the building here, they're putting up some of those steel superstructures. And also, as I zoom in, these platforms on top of the piers. This is to support the chiller units. We see some steel on the ground that is going to be assembled, and more steel around where the crane is as they continue to assemble all of these platforms. So in the next few weeks, we're going to see quite a bit of chiller units being installed here on this part of the site. And also we'll see what else is being done on the east side, kind of opposite of where this is being done. Here's a great look at the asphalt with the new roadway and also the entranceway pointing towards the Cortex 2, where there may be a parking lot. And you can see how that will tie in to the intersection of Tesla Road and Robotic Avenue on the left-hand side of the screen. Now I'm going to continue to pull away towards the east over the east warehouse on wheels, some of the overflow of the car parking for the contractors, and just a great view of all the activity here on this far east side as it's being prepared for more construction for that new facility. Great view back towards the main factory and the parking garage. And below the drone is some of these cleared out sections that are generally in the same area as where the clearing is happening at the top center of the screen. Now, as we fly back over some of the workshops, containers, materials, and vehicles at the bottom of the screen, and of course the recycle shop on the right, I wanted to give you a view of the continued work in this clearing. More of the tree vegetation that has been knocked down is being moved off the site. We also see some active earthwork underway on the left side of the screen next to the tree line. As we get in a little bit closer, I'll try to reposition the drone. We'll zoom in, see what they are doing. It kind of looks like this is a new water detention pond just because of the depression that they're working on, or it may be for some sort of drainage system. And this is a great zoom in view of this work that is going on. You can see the flags through the bottom of that kind of depression. So continue to monitor what that looks like. Steel corrugated pipe along the River Road extension, waiting for their turn to be installed. Looks like some gravel has been added in where those gaps of the pipe are located. And a nice view at the southeast side. All of the 6 fan units for the Cortex 2 cooling plant are operational. And as I keep the zoom in, a great view of all of the construction going on just next to the intersection of the roadway going off to the north and River Road, plus all of the trench work and the other work with the caisson here on the south side. Now, I'll keep that zoom in and maneuver a little more so we can get a good view of what is going on. But you can see next to the yellow crane and the pump truck that they are probably pumping a little bit more concrete onto that circular caisson, or at least in the area around it, maybe down inside. It now has a hand railing on the top, so it almost suggests that this may be the final depth of that caisson. We'll just continue to watch and see if that is in fact the case. But I don't see much rebar sticking out of the top, which would be very indicated of the fact that it has reached its final depth with the ring segments. As I pull away, I will zoom back out and show you just briefly what's going on with the caisson below the drone. And it's a great view with the crane lifting in some more of the materials, and it looks like a square vault at the bottom of that excavation, and the work around the top of that caisson. And it looks like even part of the caisson ring has been broken up, and you can see that material next to it where that kind of compactor or the excavator is breaking up some of the concrete. So that's very interesting to note. So I'm going to reposition the drone around, look back to the main factory, and we'll resume on the other side of the highway. As you can tell, the lighting and conditions were perfect for flying today with great visibility across the entire site. A nice view of that caisson with the tall crane next to the south bridge. Looks like that's wrapping up the work there. The water detention pond east berm has been finished up with the grass seeding, and some more here on the west side. And then as we pass over this road, continue to follow a river road. I'll bring the drone down lower. We see some more deliveries at the guard gate, some of the steel corrugated pipe and other type of pipe segments being stored here temporarily. No crates on that east side of that white tent, a few on the south side, a lot more of the concrete vault segments here. And as I kind of round around the corner on this southwest side, the big thing of note is that all of the green wrapped items, with just the two exceptions on the left-hand side of the screen, have been moved into the factory for assembly. And I didn't see any of them on the side of the factory when we did that 360-degree flight, so they're all most likely inside. So this is all that is remaining of all of this equipment, and it's kind of great to know that that's been moved inside, and over the next several weeks that will be installed and give that final equipment that they need for the production for the Cybercabs. Great view here of where the steel's being stored, and over the power lines, this large material staging yard. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of changes here today, so I'm just going to fly around this site briefly and kind of give you that view of what this looks like. And then we're going to kind of reposition the drone and take a better look at the outbound lot and some of the activity that is going on there on this last day of production of the month of November. Couldn't help but take advantage of the lighting and the conditions today. So I'm going to bring the drone up to a much higher altitude, just give you a great overall look at the outbound lot and the activity that is going on, the number of Model Ys that are lined up for transport, the transport trucks that are busy, and also Cybertrucks. It does look like today that this may be a black and white vehicle day for the Model Ys, just by looking at the colors that are here. Maybe some of them are the dark blue as well, but this is what it looks like from a much higher altitude. And I'll bring the drone back down lower so you can get a good view of this grouping of vehicles, and a few Cybertrucks with these Model Ys, and many more Cybertrucks on the left-hand side of the screen. So definitely looks to me like it's a black and white day plus Cybertrucks. But activity on the test track, as you can see, with both Model Ys and Cybertrucks. This one going around the figure 8 testing, and it's also next to the wash rack. And as we continue to fly up towards the direct delivery center, we see many vehicles are arranged for direct delivery to customers, and that may be happening either later today or perhaps tomorrow, even though production will be stopped for the rest of the month. Now I'm going to maneuver the drone around here on the north end, look back at the direct delivery center where they have a Cybertruck on display next to the glass and the activity with the vehicles driving autonomously to the end of line for processing. Flying back to the south over where the supercharger tents are located and more of the vehicles being stockpiled here in the south lot. We see Cybertrucks going over those rumble strips along with Model Ys and a few more activity going on as they are repositioning the vehicles that are arriving for processing on this side. At the bottom of the screen, we're going to see the Cyber Tunnel emerging, and I'll kind of turn around here for a great view of this and look back towards the main factory site. Of course, this is where Cybertrucks exit the site. And as I was taking the picture, a Cybertruck came out, and you can see that with that kind of the transition there with the video. So I'm going to get ready, cross over the highway, and we'll take a look at what's going on briefly here on the west side near the flagpoles. Of course, the flags are now at full staff after the funeral for the former Vice President of the United States. And we see some of the structure of that rounded tent that was used for the shareholders meeting and Veterans Day celebration on the left at the base of the flagpoles being disassembled. At the bottom of the screen, we see another truck bringing in the scrap wheels that's used at the melt center on the northeast corner of the casting section to melt down, and they use that material plus some additional additives for the proper alloy to make the castings that are used for Model Ys, Cybertrucks, and also the Cybercabs. And we see another vehicle exiting. It looks like it's a Model Y standard day, and that one looks like it's either dark gray or black, which is consistent with those dark colors that we saw over at the outbound lot today. So as I pull away, it's a nice view with this lighting of the west side of Giga Texas, some of the food trucks at the bottom of the screen, a lot of the warehouse on wheels trailers lined up for the production, and no real operations at that tower or that crane today at that loading dock. A little bit of deliveries here, but not much recycling for the 4680 battery cell going on at this time, at least the time of the flight. And as I round the northwest corner, you can see that truck bringing those alloy wheels, and next to it is an excavation that is going on at the bottom of the screen for more conduit on this north end. You can see a little bit at the bottom left of the screen. Here on the north part of the factory, we see many deliveries going on today. And some of that is for the plastics manufacturing part of the factory. And we also see some new deliveries here at the north end of the paint shop. They had just unloaded off of that truck, and it looked like it was more paint stands that are used for painting body parts, specifically the Model Ys that had just been delivered. And they were moving them inside, and I was able to get the still shot from that, but by the time I came back, it was already unloaded, so that was going on very quickly. So to round out the flight today, which is a little bit of a different flight path that I normally take, I wanted to bring the drone up to a very high altitude and do a long pull away to the far northeast to just take one last look before Thanksgiving of how the site appears and the work that's going on at Cortex 2 die shop and the cathode plant coming in to view underneath the drone. Also, how much of the construction sites are coming together here on the north end. And as we continue to fly to the north, I want to show a couple more things. You can note that the dirt road is kind of well-defined coming up where they are excavating more dirt, and the recycling next to the tree line in the center left of the screen. More of the rental equipment lot, and on the right we can see in this depression that there is earthwork underway, starting to reclaim this section, and that may be for future construction. So that'll be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And again, thank you very much for your support. Take care.